Hello, everyone. Today we're looking at chapter 25 of Adam Hamilton's Making Sense of the Bible. Did Jesus really say that? This short but impactful chapter tackles a question that many Christians eventually ask, even if quietly. When the Gospels sometimes record Jesus' words differently, how do we know what he actually said? Now, Hamilton approaches this with both pastoral reassurance and historical insight. He begins by reminding us that Jesus taught in Aramaic, but the Gospels were written in Greek decades later. That means Jesus' teachings were translated, paraphrased, and shaped for different audiences. Now, this isn't a flaw, it's simply how ancient biography and oral traditions worked. Hamilton also points out that Jesus was a repetitive, memorable teacher. Like other rabbis of his day, he used short sayings, vivid imagery, and repeated themes across many settings. So when the Gospels place similar teachings in different contexts, it doesn't mean that the writers disagreed. It means Jesus likely taught the same core truths again and again. Now, another key point, the Gospel writers were not stenographers. They were spirit-guided storytellers who arranged Jesus' teachings to highlight themes and speak to their communities. Their goal wasn't to give us a verbal transcript. Their goal was to faithfully convey the meaning, heart, and authority of Jesus' message. Now, Hamilton reminds us that while the Gospels differ in wording, they are remarkably unified in what matters most: Jesus' character, his compassion and authority, his teachings about the kingdom, his call to love God and neighbors, his death and resurrection, his identity as the one who reveals God's heart. The variations don't undermine the message, they enrich it. So here are a few questions to reflect on this week as you read this chapter. When did you first notice that the Gospels sometimes record Jesus' words differently? How does knowing that Jesus spoke Aramaic and the Gospels were written in Greek shape your expectations? What might Jesus have repeated the same teachings in different settings? Do the variations in wording trouble you, or do they deepen your understanding? Now, this chapter encourages us to trust the teachings of Jesus, not because every word is preserved exactly as spoken, but because the Gospels faithfully convey the life-changing message he proclaimed. They lead us to the way of Jesus, which is their deepest purpose. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Grace and peace. I'll talk to you next time.